I want to thank Orr Auto Mall for bringing us back here to the Mayor's office today. Thank you to Mayor Teague for taking a few moments to talk with us about local events here in the city of Russellville. We share your weekly update, but we wanted to kind of catch you in between and just kind of talk about some pressing objects that have happened in the last week or so. Namely, number one here, the fire at Check H Restaurant. Man, just a brutal blow to the community and to that family and to the employees there.
You know, I really don't think people realize, and time will really tell that story of what we did lose with Check H. You know, West Russellville had been a fixture, and then Dale Holt rebranded to Check H. You don't build restaurants like Check H anymore, and so there are so many meeting rooms and event rooms in that building, and so that's a loss to our civic clubs, to so many different clubs and families. And you know, my family has been going there for years, and so it really is. It's kind of a brutal blow. It really is. It's tough. You know, Dale is a great guy. Dale has worked there for 35 years. He and his wife have invested their life into that. And you know, there are 39 employees there that called Check H home, and they're really a family. I mean, genuinely, they are a family. It's not just a workplace to them. It really is a family environment, and so. That's, you know, we really have been really prioritizing for the last week, you know, because it was a week ago today when I was sitting in the middle of a council meeting, and I got a text message of there was a fire, and I started getting updates, and I was communicating with the fire department during that time during the meeting, and as soon as I got out of the meeting, I left and was on scene that night. So it's a fixture in our community, and you know, it's a tough loss.
It is a tough loss. And what's being done? I know that the community sort of rallied around them immediately. What's being done that you know of as far as to help the employees and the folks who are impacted?
I do. You talked about something immediately. That was an incredible night. You know, I called my wife first thing and I said, "Hey, I need Gatorade, I need granola, I need fruit," and she dropped what she was doing and brought some stuff down. Shortly after that, Walmart called and said, "Hey, we're bringing water, granola." Walgreens sent water across. I reached out to McDonald's, needed some cheeseburgers. They're like, "Hey, just go pick them up. We're going to give those to you." Brandon's Trash was out there passing out water to everybody. That was a great effort. And then, you know, you talk about community. You not only do you have RFD and RFD EMS, fire-based EMS. You had Russellville Police Department on site. You had Arkansas State Police on site. You had Public Safety from Tech assisting. Sheriff-elect Sean Harris came down on site himself, made sure that Pope County Sheriff was supporting us in any way, Sheriff's Department was supporting us in any way. You had Pottsville Fire Department, you had Crow Mountain Fire Department, you had Dover Fire Department, and so it was just a collaborative effort. And I don't think people understand that doesn't happen everywhere. That really doesn't happen everywhere. And so we're blessed to be able to have that. Judge Cross and I were in communication that night. He communicated with me. So there's just a great group of our community. So that was that, and that immediately, and then you had people coming down and supporting. Shortly after that, you know, we that night Dale and I actually talked. I don't even know when it was. There was a lot of hours that night, and so we talked about the Rust Bus could raise money for the families. We hit the ground first thing that next morning, launched a fundraiser for the employees. So that was on Wednesday morning of last week. Today is Tuesday. Yesterday morning, Monday morning, families from Check H came to the Rust Bus facility and started getting their bills paid. Basically, they can come in with their electric bill, their water bill, their rent, their mortgage, their cell phone bill, their insurance, whatever it may be, and they could get their bills paid. And so that shows how amazing our community is, just rallying around their families. We did that with Old South. The community is going to rally around Check H, and so it's great. The gratitude and appreciation that the families had when they were coming in. It was just, you know, they knew the community was behind them. And then you see other things. You know, the gun club was down there on Sunday raising money. The car clubs, man, I tell you what, car clubs show up always. Man, if you need some money raised, man, get some car guys together. They're going to show up. The car guys and gals are out there, and they're going to raise money. So just a great community, and I think you and I both know that, you know, but I think a lot of people take it for granted.
Absolutely. Well, it's one of those things you don't know until you hit a moment like this, and you're like, "Oh, we are in this together."
Yeah, we are. And Russellville is strong. I said that, and we are strong.
Well, speaking of staying strong, one of the things that I've tried to really focus on the last couple of weeks is trying to patronize the local businesses downtown where the bridges are out. And it's because it is kind of hard to get to them in some places, but I'm a Jean's Cupcake guy.
Yes.
And I like Stobies, and we need to make sure we're paying attention to those folks.
Yes, and Salty Broads, the barbershop right there. So yeah, I was actually just driving by there just a second ago because I was out looking at a project. So yeah, the reality is, we have to have projects like that, and that is a massive project. It's a project almost 20 years in the making, but what that's going to bring to us is it's going to allow us not to have as severe flooding downtown. It's going to allow water to get into the creek, get to the sump quicker, and the reason that you had to replace those bridges is because those bridges were pinch points. They were not, the gap was not as wide, so we're having to widen that. So it's a necessity to do that. But at the same token, it's like we have supported our downtown merchants through the Teague project. This is a completely different project. Man, I'm a Stobies cheese dip guy, and I'm a roast beef pita guy. And Jean's Cupcakes, it doesn't matter what you get over there, they're all good. And then go over to Salty Broads and let those ladies take care of you, and you get your hair cut. So it's great. And that's it. Russellville, support Russellville. Support our local people, because they're the ones, if you think back, just 6 years ago when we went through COVID, it's our local people that got us through, and so it's very important. So let's support them and let's show them that Russellville loves them.
Well, speaking of Russellville and the community, we've talked a lot about the potential for a data center based on what's happening.
Who's talking about that? I haven't heard anything about that.
Well, we talked off camera just a minute ago about how, I wanted to frame this question so that people would understand that, there's a lot of stuff that's being said that is not necessarily what's actually happening.
Yes.
So would you fill us in on
a couple of things. So I personally have not had any conversations with anybody with a data center. I don't know any information about a data center. We've not had any data center come to the city of Russellville through planning or large-scale development. Last agenda prep, Chairman Keller of the Finance Committee brought up a discussion, and his discussion was he just wanted to put some things in place that were not in our planning and zoning code. It's not saying, hey, I want to make things that pave the way for a data center. He wants to put some guardrails in to make sure that something that is not advantageous for the city doesn't come in without us having any checks and balances. Also, Councilman Olson brought up a very good point. I can't use the word that, I don't remember the word he used, but he talked about the fact that we don't have enough land in the city limits of Russellville that you could piece together for a large-scale data center. And so at this point in time, I don't know any land that we have that you could piece a big enough piece of land together to build a data center. So I really, it's kind of a moot point, but also Chairman Keller's like, hey, listen, he understands that concept, but he wants to put some things in place as some guardrails. I know there's some people that are talking about the property on Elmira that we're clearing in the process and doing certain things there. That property is by no means anywhere near large enough for a data center. And I've stated multiple times that we're not having a conversation with a data center, we're having a conversation with a manufacturer. And so there's, all of these different things, and I hate that there are groups of people that like to spread and propagate fear. But at this point in time, I have no reason to believe that we're having a data center coming to the city of Russellville.
I want to get into the very last thing today, and that is, we want to try to leave on a good note.
Yeah.
Summer's already in full swing. My kids are having a blast. We've had a lot of fun events downtown already. And
yes.
Summer, you can talk about some of the things that we've got going on this summer. It's a fun place to be downtown at the depot or just in the city of Russellville or in the surrounding area. We've got fishing derbies. We've got things at the depot. We've got all kinds of events.
Yeah, fishing derby's always good. Juneteenth was a great event. Largest, really honestly, I think is the largest event that I believe we had. I was kind of disappointed in myself because we went to, that was kind of my Father's Day with my kids. They came in on the Friday night. We went to Pasta Grill, which is never disappointing. That southernmost pasta and their bread pudding is top notch. But there were a lot of amazing food trucks at Juneteenth. And we, just before that, we had Art Walk, which was, it was absolutely incredible. And then right around the corner, we've got the 4th of July. We have the 3rd and 4th of July. We'll be doing some things downtown on the 3rd, and we'll be doing, fireworks celebration and different things downtown for the 4th of July. It's our 250th anniversary as a nation, and so I'm super excited about that. Just constantly, but like you said, there's sporting events, it's outdoors. We live, Russellville is just literally, Johnny Brazil says it's the base camp. Because within an hour and a half of Russellville, you can do anything besides saltwater and snow skiing. We just really have so many things, and it is a beautiful area, and we're so blessed to live in this geographic area. But Russellville is that base camp. So many great things going on all across the community, not just downtown. I know Christy Graham's bringing in a circus camp. Who has a circus camp? And there's so many other things. Super excited. I know our baseball fields are getting new LED lights, which is going to be awesome. Soccer is just as big as it's ever been. Hickey Pool is going crazy. Aquatic Center. There's so many little camps here and there for the kiddos and adults. So it's really a fun time to live in Russellville.
Absolutely. Hey, we're hitting our stride this summer. We hope you'll come visit us here in the city of Russellville. Thank you, Mayor Teague, for your time.
Thank you.